So there's this interesting and strong narrative that's been circulating in basketball communities for a while at this point. They claim LeBron James is better than Kobe Bryant. And one of the hypotheticals that always comes up is, imagine if a young LeBron had a prime Shaq for his first 8 years, just like Kobe did. One of my favorite YouTubers ever since I started watching NBA YouTube is Dom2K. He makes awesome content, and although Mike Horzemba inspired me to try this YouTube thing out, it was Dom that I wanted to model my content after. I also know the guy. He gave me some advice when I was just starting out my YouTube channel, and once upon a time, we were actually planning on doing a Super Smash Bros. Stream together on our gaming channels. But I think we just got busy and it never panned out. Now let me get to the point of this video though. Dom made a video in 2018 called Why LeBron James is Undoubtedly Greater Than Kobe Bryant. In this video, he had a specific section where he asked, what if Prime Shaq was on LeBron's team in the first 8 years of his career? Take a listen for yourself.
And like anyone else, I've often thought about, well, what if it was LeBron instead of Kobe? What if he'd have been drafted with a top 3 center in history and his career was molded from that? I never get over dramatic and call 8 or 10 rings because I always have questions about how LeBron would have fit with the paint clogging, non-shooting center when he couldn't shoot that well himself for a while. But I don't have any questions about how that duo would have coexisted and reached its potential. It goes deeper than just LeBron sharing the ball more than Kobe because he's a shooting guard and it's not his job. Kobe had it built into his system that sometimes nobody else on the court mattered and he was just going to do it himself. That's part of the killer mentality you always hear about, the Black Mamba, but as I'm going to discuss later, that definitely held him back more than people realize.
Now listen, I only played a small segment of this video, so if you want to hear his thoughts in full, I definitely recommend you go hear him out, and give him a chance to make his whole argument, and go ahead and give him a sub while you're at it. Now here's my thoughts about it. People always assume that LeBron and Shaq together would have been better than Shaq and Kobe, but honestly, I don't get why. If it's a LeBron fan making the point, then I understand why they want to use that narrative to brag about their guy. But outside of that, the logic just doesn't make much sense to me. So let me break it down. Basketball isn't just about getting the most talented players together, putting them in the same jerseys, and watching them win championships. There's been a lot of instances where GMs have tried that and it just didn't work. In my opinion, a young LeBron James simply doesn't mesh as well with Shaq as a young Kobe did. One of the things that worked so well for Kobe and Shaq was their inside-out game. During those days, Shaq would often draw all of the attention to the painted area. The defense would collapse upon him, and that's when he would kick the ball out to his various perimeter shooters. Guys like Rick Fox, Brian Shaw, Derek Fisher, Robert Horry, and yes, sometimes Kobe Bryant as well. Shaq dominated the painted area, while Kobe did his damage from the perimeter. On the other hand, LeBron is lethal when he can attack the basket and finish around the rim. But that's so much harder to do when Shaq is clogging the lane and drawing so many defenders' attention to the painted area. It's easy to help off of Shaq when many of the defensive attention is already around the rim where LeBron is trying to go. The advanced shooting stats actually back this up. Over the course of their careers, Kobe was more efficient than LeBron James between 3 feet and the three-point line. Specifically, in the mid-range, it isn't even close, as Kobe hit 43% of his career shots between 10 to 16 feet, while LeBron shot only 36.6% from that same distance, which is a brutal contrast. Then there's three-point shooting. Eventually, LeBron became a pretty solid three-point shooter. But remember, that wasn't the case earlier in his career, and it was actually considered to be one of his greatest weaknesses. In their first 8 years, Kobe actually had a slightly better three-point percentage. Again, the fit just doesn't work as well from a spacing and ball movement standpoint. Then you have to consider the fact that the Hack-a-Shaq was one of the most frequent strategies against the Lakers during their dynasty days, as they were always fouling Shaq relentlessly in the fourth quarter, forcing him to shoot more free throws. And you know who else is terrible from the free throw line? LeBron James. With this tandem, they would have been constantly bricking free throws together in the most crucial moments of the game. Then there's one other massive element to consider. and that's playoff matchups and guys picking their spots. During the Lakers dynasty days of the early 2000s, Kobe and Shaq had a rhythm to their offense throughout the postseason. Kobe would go off in the Western Conference playoffs, where the bigger bodies were focusing on Shaq. And then, in the NBA Finals, Shaq became a greater focal point for the offense, as Eastern Conference teams had less big bodies to try to contain Shaq. This is an aspect that Kobe and Shaq have talked about numerous times in various interviews, and the numbers back it up. Would LeBron James have been able to hit that switch and take advantage of those Western Conference matchups when he needed to? Who knows? When Kobe went up against their strongest competitor, the San Antonio Spurs, he always came through and performed exceptionally. He led the Lakers in scoring against the San Antonio Spurs in the 2001 playoffs, in the 2002 playoffs, the 2003 playoffs, and in the 2004 playoffs. And in 3 out of those 4 playoff series, he was up against the Defensive Player of the Year candidate, Bruce Bowen. And these were the impressive numbers that Kobe averaged in each of those series. On the other hand, LeBron went up against Bruce Bowen only once in his postseason career, and these were the numbers that he averaged against the All-Defender. If LeBron put up those kind of numbers against San Antonio in the playoffs, then the Lakers likely don't get past that round. So no, for a multitude of reasons, I don't think Shaq and LeBron would have been nearly as successful together as Shaq and Kobe were in their 8-year stretch. And anytime someone tells me that Shaq and LeBron would have been better, I think it boils down to the simple fact that they think LeBron is a better player than Kobe. But I'm not sure if they actually thought through the X's and O's. But hey, I could be wrong. Maybe Dom is right. This video isn't about me calling out a dude for something he said 6 years ago, because again, this is all hypothetical, so who am I to say that he's wrong when he very well may be right? I personally just don't see it, and I wanted to see what you guys thought. Do you think that LeBron would have had more success with Shaq than Kobe did in his first 8 years? I look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.